all the afternoon, all the nights, all the weekends, and children all the time there because they want to learn. And that's different. Think about it, place that learning is like a punishment, and immediately when the class is closed, we run away. And think about a school that it's fun to learn. It's something that's very exciting me. When you learn geology, it's not because someone forced you to learn geology. It's happened because it's something happened inside yourself. That can happen in every one of us. And now I forgot the second.
זה מאוד קשור למשחק החופשי, שבעצם הם ישחקו כל היום.
לא, שאלה שנייה.
השאלה שנייה זה מה הם ישחקו כל היום.
Okay, and yeah, the question is if they can play all the day. First of all, yes. Because I don't think that it exists more serious way of learning than play. Play is the most serious way of learning. And
you know, I think the image of that some listeners will have anyway is of their teenager or of teenagers they know focused on a screen. And that may be because they're texting to their friends, which is a great time-consuming activity, or they're playing some kind of digital game. And that is a form, I guess, of play. Does that fit in? What are those students learning?
I tell you, I will go a little deeper. I have 4 boys. And all of them do different games in sports. Some is go to play soccer, another one is rock climber, another go to judo club. So everyone is do different game. And all the time when I go with them, I begin to think how I make the school that this motivation that they have in their play and games, I can bring to the school. Because I found themselves, my child is a rock climber, and when he climb off a rock, is the most serious things that happen to him. And now, when my other child play soccer, this is the most serious things that he do. A lot of time I say, oh, I can't take these serious ideas and connect it to school. Like the science class can be like a football game, so serious. Or the art class can be like a rock climbing. And that's, I think, a big goal. It's a really, really big goal. And we try to do it in our class. When but I tell you something that you talk about the digital games. I think that what we do different in school that not happen when you play at home, it's the mixed ages, and that's the meaning of school in my point of view. It's we the adults, the teacher, the educators, play with the kids. Science, we play with them history, we play with them football, and that's make the change. Because when I am involved in the game, we can do a lot of educational ideas, and I think that's different from children that play alone by themselves and without any mixed ages and without adults. And that's something that I think a lot of time can be really dangerous. Because I think a lot of time when we see children inside the computer, and parents ask me, well, they all the same times in the computer, what we can do? I tell them, you can do only one thing. Be with them in the computer, in the game. Because if you will be with them, it's totally safe. It's not safe. Safe, it's not the right. It's totally the most developed things that can happen to a child.
You know, in the United States, and this may not be relevant for other countries, we are in a period, there's a compulsion for what's called accountability, which expresses itself in a demand that students take tests and that they perform at the tests on a certain level. And if not, there are very great consequences. The school can be closed if over a period of 3 consecutive years the students do not perform as well as they're supposed to on those tests. That would seem to be about as contradictory to democratic education as anything I can think of.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. And I think if the idea of test is okay, that, for example, if it exists, the knowledge that we said, that's knowledge, you need to be adults in a democratic society, you need to know this knowledge. It's very important to me to check if you know this knowledge. We make a test, and if you succeed, okay, we give you permission to be a successful adults in the society. If it was like this, I was against, but I will get it, because in this point we come here and I make you a test if you know the basic knowledge that every adults know, and we go to everyone in the streets and make tests, and everyone that doesn't know the knowledge, we send them to school. So it's something that we know that we don't know what the knowledge that we need to know, and the most important idea from our point of view, if you want to succeed in your life, you need to do 2 things: to find your strong area and find your passion. If you today find your strong area and your passion, you have a lot of chance in your life. If you have the best grades, see what happened today in United States, in Europe, a lot of people that graduates in a very good grades have no work and jobs. So they found themselves unemployed. But you can totally, if you say to me, how I prepare my children to the future, not by they finish the grades or the tests that they need to take. To me, it's very, very important that they find something that they are very good. It means that they find their unique talent and their passion. If they have their unique talent and passion, I prepare them to the future of life.
Yaacov, thanks so much for joining us here on KGNU. It's been a very rewarding hour.
Thank you. Thank you.
And the IDEC conference continues for the next 4 days in Boulder, and our education, the next 2 days in Boulder. And next week we will continue with Education Wednesdays on KGNU. We'll have others who have come to Boulder for the conference. We'll be talking with Jane Adiambo Chiroma and Justo Mendez Aramburu and Sabrina Joy Stevens. We're going to be talking about education and development, economic, social, and political roles of schools. Then 2 weeks from today, Boulder's own Deborah Young, who's just back. She's a consultant to the Royal University of Bhutan, where they are trying to find a pedagogy for gross national happiness, which is the official goal of the Kingdom of Bhutan. Deborah Young will be with us as well. I'm Joel Edelstein. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for the Morning Sound Alternative.